All right, guys, well, I'm back today with a very impressive as well as innovative firearm from Diamondback Firearms. This is the DBX 57 pistol, and I am incredibly impressed. But before we get into the review of this particular firearm, I want to talk about Diamondback Firearms as a company. If you follow the channel, you'll know I reviewed a lot of their products in the past, and I've always been incredibly impressed at the quality craftsmanship as well as innovation they put into some of their handguns as well as their AR lineup. I reviewed a lot of their AR firearms, including some of their AR pistols, which have some very unique features, and they also are incredibly reliable and, again, a high-value item. I've shot some of their long-range platforms in the AR-10 and 6.5 Creedmoor and 308, and they never disappoint, being tack drivers and, again, incredibly reliable. That is why I am so excited about this brand new pistol from Diamondback Farms, the DBX 57. It's super innovative, very unique, and overall such a cool concept for a PDW or personal defense style weapon. Let's dig into the specs and features of this platform. And I do want to give a huge shout out to Diamondback Farms for sending this over to the channel for us to try out. And I also want to give a huge shout out to American Pawn & Gun, located in Monroe, North Carolina, for donating the ammo and transferring this firearm to the channel. Ammo is really hard to get right now, and without American Pawn & Gun support, it would be really difficult to give us all the ammo we needed. And they gave us an initial 200 rounds to run through this guy and try out, and I'm glad they did. We shot all of it, and we shot it all fast because this thing is awesome. Let's talk about the specs and features of this pistol, as well as its performance down at the range, and why you may want something like this in your personal arsenal. The first thing I want to discuss when it comes to this firearm is pick up your owner's manual and read it, because this is a unique firearm. It fits the same pattern as certain types of other platforms, but it also has some very unique features, and the owner's manual does an amazing job of explaining everything you need to know about your new DBX pistol. The other cool thing about this pistol is it comes with this pick rail located on the back to attach a brace. Now, Diamondback was initially shipping these with braces, but with the controversy, they've stripped off the braces but left a pick rail. So you could SBR this at a stock or put your pistol brace on, whatever you choose. I really like it with the pistol brace. It allows for more stabilization, in my opinion, although I actually did this first shots video without a brace because I want to review it in the configuration you'll pick this up in. The other cool thing about this system is, again, it's chambered in that 5.7x28, a flat, fast-flying cartridge that is very impressive for its size. Almost no recoil, incredible speed, good expansion with certain rounds, a great personal defense weapon up close, as well as you can get a ton of rounds in a small compact package. It's very lightweight to transport and store extra rounds if you want to take this on the go. Now let's talk a little bit about the user interface with this pistol, and I want to start with the magazines since it really does kind of center around this 5.7 round. It takes the 5.7 pistol compatible magazines and it ships with one in the box. Now this magazine is a 20 round magazine, but you can see how small it is. This is, again, pretty interesting concept if you want to take a lot of rounds with you, but still have a potent cartridge up close. It comes with an 8-inch barrel, and one of the main things I want to stress is this comes in at a weight of 3 pounds with an empty magazine. 3 pounds is insane. It is so lightweight, easy to shoot with one hand as intended. This is a great firearm to really stow away and backpack in somewhere. If you're looking for a bug out gun, a truck gun, a car gun, or a personal defense gun, especially for somebody who's a little bit smaller stature, the lack of recoil, the lightweight design, and the ability to carry a ton of rounds allows us to fill a ton of different niches in the market, way better than a lot of other pistols or AR pistols I've seen in the past. The other thing is it has a monolithic pick rail on the top, and this entire frame and chassis system is made out of aluminum. Even though it's so light, I assumed it would be polymer, or at least have a lot of polymer interfaces, but it does not. It runs a lot of aluminum. In fact, the frame itself is 70-75 aluminum, and that's hard coat anodized, and the handguard is actually 60-61 aluminum, and that's also hard coat anodized, and it is M-LOK compatible, as you can see here, to attach lights and lasers. One of the other things I want to talk about is not only its weight, but its overall size. This is awesome. It's 15.25 inches long. The height is 7.3 inches, and the overall width, guys, is 1.75 inches. This is ultra thin, able to be stored in a backpack, a small pack, almost inside the center console of your truck, beside your bed, in a nightstand. There is a wide variety of places you can store this. Now, in its current configuration without a brace, it's incredibly compact, But with a lot of braces on the market that fold over, you can still get the almost same small package with a folding brace that allows you to deploy it for more stabilization. This is pretty interesting because it runs I guess I'm going to really go into the operating system here, a locked breech dual gas piston system with an adjustable gas block, meaning a lot of the internal springs and everything is located in the top here, and you don't need a buffer tube for this to run, allowing you to put a more foldable brace on here, and again, allowing it to be more compact and easily maneuverable. This is a very awesome and reliable weapons platform that allows a very compact design. Now I want to focus a little bit more on the front and work our way to the back. Since we've talked about a lot of the specs and features in kind of a hodgepodge scenario, I'm going to try to really define it from the front to the back. It's got 1/2x28 threads, perfect for those 9mm cans or suppressors that you may have. It also has its proprietary flash hider, which does a pretty good job. I really like it here. It's got that stainless steel barrel, and the barrel length again is 8 inches. It's got a 1-in-9 right-hand twist barrel. Now that muzzle device, they are calling it the DBX muzzle device, but you can again swap it out with whatever you want. It also has an adjustable gas block, so if you are suppressing it, you can adjust it to whatever you need, and if it maybe gets gummed up a little bit without cleaning it, you can adjust that gas block. We've already talked about the M-LOK handguard. It's very nice. If you leave it in its current configuration without a brace, I'd highly recommend a very bright green laser on the side, so you can just clip on that laser and you can take your targets up close, and that is a pretty cool personal defense option. Also, if you're running it suppressed with night vision, you can put an IR laser on here and really do some interesting maneuvers up close, since you can look through your night vision and see that IR laser aiming module without going through the optic. The monolithic pick rail is pretty solid up top. A low profile optic without a brace seems to do the job well. And actually, it's very easy to kind of push out and hold because it is so lightweight. You can hold this with one hand, two hands, however you feel like, and it's still very manageable and easy to maneuver. Also, transitioning from target to target is easy because you don't have a ton of weight on your hands. You can easily rotate, move, run, jump. I mean, whatever you want to do with this pistol since it's so lightweight. The charging handle itself swaps from one side to the other depending on which way you want it, and I want to talk about the controls in this part of the video. To release the magazine, it's got this paddle release right here that works incredibly well. They drop out every time you need them. It's very easy to hit, but it's a flush profile design. On the opposite side, you actually have the bolt release and bolt catch, which is perfect to manipulate this handgun. You simply insert the mag. Sorry, I'm trying to do it on camera here. Then you'll reach up, knock that down, and it will chamber around. Then you can just eject that magazine. It kind of springs out of there and you are good to go. The trigger guard is built into the grip module itself, and this actually takes standard AR-15 triggers and a safety. So it's a very understandable user interface. If you've ever shot an AR-15, that safety is the same way, and you can swap whatever triggers you want. We may put a precision trigger on here. The trigger in here is halfway decent. It's nothing to write home about, just a mil-spec trigger. It's not great, it's not bad, you know, it is what it is. This also takes AR-15 grip, so you can swap it out with whatever you want, but it does ship with that Magpul MOEK grip. No sights are included, but you can easily add them again, whatever AR-15 style sights you want, or pretty much whatever pistol sights you want to add on there. The disassembly is reasonable, but again, I'm not going to do that on camera. I'm going to refer you back to that owner's manual. They really detail everything out. Now I want to talk about the performance of this down at the range. We've already talked about weapons handling and manipulation and how light and maneuverable it is, but how did it function? I've already said there's almost no recoil, and it is still lightweight, but the reliability is very, very good. Now, when I first got this, it almost had a break-in period that I want to discuss. The first few mags had some feed issues kind of working themselves in. I attributed that to the magazine itself. This one is a Pro Mag, not a huge fan of Pro Mags. Really wish they would have included like a branded 5.7 magazine, because I had some issues right out of the bat with this Pro Mag. So I had to kind of smooth out some of the edges and add a little oil, and then we resolved that issue, mainly just kind of working it in. No big deal whatsoever, but something to consider if you get this and it's having feed issues. It was 100% the magazine, and we addressed that. And then the next thing I want to talk about is it did take some oil. When I put it out of the box dry like I normally do, I fired a few shots. I noticed that it was having light primer strikes, and what was happening was it was going and it was stopping right about there. It really wasn't there. It wasn't chambering all the way, so I was having light primer strikes, so I had to close it down on there. Now that was resolved with dropping some oil on there, and you can see in the video kind of oil went everywhere because I kind of just dumped it on there when I was out at the range, and man, it worked like a champ with oil, and it's still working good. So I'd say the first two mags we ran into some issues, but after we added oil to the bolt and up here where the spring mechanisms are, and we added just a touch of oil to the top of this mag to kind of smooth things out with the feeding, it really resolved every single issue we had in those first two mags, and it's been running 100% functional after those two magazines. Again, 200 rounds in, so this is just a first shots video. I would have really liked to put about 300-400 rounds in, but getting ammo was hard. So again, a huge shout out to American Pawn and Gun for donating those 200 rounds. That made a huge difference, and that's why I could bring you guys this overview and first shots video so quickly. So I'm going to try to get some more ammunition for this, potentially add a brace, maybe a laser. We will continue to update you guys on its performance, but I can confidently recommend this guy as a very unique and interesting pistol that works and really fills a ton of niches that a lot of other firearms don't. And again, I can't stress how easily this handles and how lightweight this is. Such a cool firearm from Diamondback Firearms, the DBX 5.7. If you want to see anything done to this firearm, or you have any ideas or suggestions or your own opinions about this firearm, please leave them in the comments below. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one.